Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Now, in the video I'm actually going to talk about, it's a young man, I met a young man who's just started tying, he wants to learn to tie, and he asked me, he fishes the river mainly, and he wants to start tying his own dries and wets. Now, I told him to start with very basic flies, start with spider patterns, whether it be a wet or a dry. And he, what do you mean by that? I says, well, it's basically spider patterns are flies that don't have wings, hence a spider doesn't have wings. So it was a term used in the flies that we used, especially here in the UK. Some would call the wets a soft hackle. Another one would just be classed as a spider pattern. I would say a hackleless, or a wingless dry fly. Not so much a hackleless, but a wingless dry fly. Now, capes you're going to use for the wet fly, you want to use hen hackles, or a hen neck. In this case is a Greenwells, kind of Greenwell like anyway. It's not, most people would call it furnace, but it's got the black centre and got the brown sort of tip. Now that's the hen, as I say. This is a cock version. Now these are just chicken feathers, as you want to call it, whether they come from China or Chinese or the UK or whatever. But anything that runs about the barn, runs about the farmyard anyway, these basic chicken feathers. These are not like the genetics. The genetics are a bit better marked. They're bred specially to get the colour. But originally I just used these necks, whether it be the hen or the cock. So I'm going to use these. Now, hook choice, years ago we just bought a hook and tied dries and wets in the same hook practically. Even though the dry flies that were an up eye, they were classed as a dry fly hook, and then you do down eye was your wet, but mainly we tie with down eyed hooks nowadays. So I'm going to zoom in, and we do get all the weights, so I'm using stuff that you can actually buy. Now the wet fly is just, this is a wet, tied on a, in this case this is a competition heavyweight size 14, so it's a nice strong hook. And plus, being a wet fly, it'll help it to get down. The other one is the dry fly hook. It's a size 14 again. This one here, it's much finer wire. You can see in comparison, I've got the bare hooks here, so you can see the difference in thickness in the wire. And normally you find in dry fly hooks that they're slightly longer in the shank, but I normally tie short. I usually tie to the point of the hook where the body would start. There's different styles, but anyway, I'll show you how to tie it. I'm going to start off with the wet first, sorry. So I'm using this one here, the competition heavyweight size 14. Come in a wee bit closer. Now I'm sticking to modern stuff, not traditional. This is just threads you can buy now, and this is one of the new ones from Full and Will. It's a Pro Twisted Thread, 70 Denier. Now I'm going to use this thread for the body as well. And traditionally you could have used a floss in the body, but I'm just using the thread. Even further back you just probably use the Piezo silk threads were quite thick. Now I'm going to wax the thread, which helps to darken it slightly. This is an old piece of wax I've got. Over time it just gets darker with dirt and so on, and it suits the Greenwells. So anyway, I'm going to work my way down. Just going to ping off the waist. I'm going to work to the point where when I let the thread go, it's in line with the barb. Now, traditionally, as I say, you'd be using hen on wet flies, but in the tail, I would always use a cock fibre for the tail. Same in the dry. It just lasts longer. So if you bring the fibre 90 degrees from the stem, bring them out, you see the tips lining up, you can tear them away. Normally, to balance a fly, you're looking just at the tail length round about the hook length should do it. So catch this at the back with 2 or 3 turns. Now I'm not going to spread the fibre like I would do a dry in this case. I'm just going to leave it nice and straight. The rib, I'm going to use an old tinsel. This is an old flat tinsel that I've had for many years. You could use wire, or you could just leave it out. Some people don't like it, a rib, but I do like a rib, both on the dry and the wet, so I'm going to rib it. So to make it balance it up, I'm going to tie it in and have it the full length of the body so it doesn't get any steps in it. Just going to run my thread up to about maybe 2mm from the eye. Going to come back down about 3/4 of the way, and then come back up. Just going to wax my thread again. You see it's kind of olivey like with the colour. I don't know if you can see that. You can see the colour through it. You get the brightness, and that's what I like to see. In the dark, just very natural like. When you rub the body about 5 times in this case, 4 to 5 is fine. Nice and tight, secure it in. I usually take the thread down about 3 or 4 turns, then come back up to where I caught the rub in, and then keep the thread tight. Because it's tinsel, I can break it off. Now the length of the fibre is up to yourself with this hen. This is a hen neck. I always exaggerate the length. I just like the colour. You can tie it to suit yourself. It could be short, long, it could be sparse, it could be heavy. I would have them all. I mean, I like it, especially in a wet fly. I like a decent hackle times. So to tie it in, I'm going to tie it in by the hen. Traditionally, it's tied in by the tip. You don't have to do that. You just work it to suit yourself. But traditionally, you would tie the in by the tip. So I'm just trimming it away and leaving enough so I can tie it on. Again, make sure there's wax in your thread. Wind towards the eye. Now, you can use your fingers, you can use your hackle pliers, it's up to sale that. I use these wee hackle pliers. Now, these wee hackle pliers have been with me since I started tying. They're as old as, they're 40 years old, they're Vineyard. I bought them way back then. So, I like the lighter wired hackle pliers for doing these hackles. Then, once you've got enough hackle, and as I say, you can put on as much as you like and take it, mess around. So I've secured in the hackle 3 or 4 turns. I like to fold back the stem, slightly build up the head a wee bit. Keeping the thread tight, I can ping that off. It's fine. Now whip finish. Tighten up. Trim away. Now, I usually just a wee touch of varnish. You can put it on with a needle, you can do what you like, all the way around. And that's the wet fly, it's the spider part. I say the next stage would be to put a wing on it. But in the wing, I would probably recommend the hackle fibre being shorter, but in the spider, I do like it long and plenty of movement. Fishing these in fast water or runs, I definitely like them a bit longer. But anyway, that's the wet fly. For the dry fly, you can see the lighter hook. Same size, it's size 14. Just most dry flies you'll find they're kind of slightly longer than the shank. You'll find that sometimes. And we ping there to make sure my hook's nice and tight. Same thread, just going to pull some off the spool, just run the wax through it, do it a couple of times. I mean, I always had to do that with the old silk threads, so we had to make sure they were waxed. So we started the eye, or just down from the eye, and the way down and removing the waste. Now I'm only going to wind my thread until basically in line with the point of the hook. I like to keep the bend of the dry fly certainly open. Again, I'm going to use the cock hackle fibre for the tail. So again, we bring it 90 degrees out from the stem, tear it away. There's a broken one in there, I think I got it. Tail length, you're looking hook length again. Now what I like to do is come down, tie it on top, give it a couple of turns, and keeping the hold of the fibre, I come underneath with a turn, and then I pull towards the eye, which will lift and separate the fibre. And that broken end is in there. You don't have to take it out. I can see it, and it's there. Take it away. I'm going to rub the fly now. Again, you don't have to rub this fly. You are adding a wee touch of weight by doing it. Firstly, before I do that, just trim this the length of the body. This is your marker, but it helps to balance the body by keeping it the same length. Again, we catch in with tinsel, so you don't need to do it, it's up to yourself. Just going to work my way up. And again, I'm going to wax my thread, run my thread down 2/3 or 3/4 of the way at least, and then come back up. And this will make the body a wee bit, give it a better taper, a wee bit better colour. Then when you bring the rib up through, kind of basic straight turn at the back. So that's 3, 4, into my 5th turn there. Catch it on, nice and tight, make sure it's secure. Keeping the thread tight, bend and break away the tinsel. Hackle, cock hackle, obviously this time being a dry fly. Now as I say, I don't mind the hackle length, looking quite long. It spreads away the fly and they work just as well, so they do. I find sometimes even work better. So I've even tied in the fluff, so I have, just to kind of thicken it up, even though I wouldn't recommend it always. But anyway, I've got the black at the base here and I've got the brown at the tip, because it's not a genetic cape, so it's just kind of, you get this mix, which I like. Now I'm actually going to take the hackle down, bring the hackle back up through. I'm going to use up the full hackle. So being a dry fly, I want the inside of the feather facing forward. The hen, or the wet fly, normally you'd be facing with the good side or the front of the hackle towards the eye, so you turn that around the other way. Now before we start, I'm just going to take away the leading edge, your side, some of the fibre. Come in here and get it started. Now that will give us a better start. It just stops it rolling a wee bit. Most times I don't bother, like, but just to show you can get a better start by doing that. And you can do that with a wet fly as well. Use my hackle pliers. So I want to use up the full, because these are not genetic, I want to use up all the hackle, so I'm going to wind down and then come back up through, basically mixing the black and the brown, and then I'm going to come back. This basically strengthens the hackle as well, or that area. So we get 3 or 4 turns, make sure that's secure, and come in and trim away the tip. Keep it on if you can, on the hackle pliers. It's going to draw back anything going forward. Just use your thread turns to secure it. This time I'm going to varnish my thread. I'm going to put varnish on the thread, so I'm just going to retouch just about a centimetre down. Then I'm going to whip finish, that will secure it in. Again, what I like to do is tighten up, so put my nail on the side of the eye and pull. Come in with my scissors, trim away, and there you go. That's the spider. Both spider patterns, meaning flies without a wing, are the one I tied. So there we are, folks. The two, same pattern, same fly. Greenwells will represent like spring olives coming off. It's this yellow brown colour works really well. There's other capes you want to look for. You want to tie lighter versions, and if you're really lucky, there's a colour for tying the Greenwells. Is this one here. You can see instead of it being black, it's grey at the base. It's like a rusty dun. It's a lovely wee hackle, so it's another thing you look for when you're tying. So anyway, folks, there we are. Simple spider patterns, how I started tying, and then I progressed from there, putting wings on them. In this case it'd be a black coloured wing or grey, and a few feathers you could pick. As I say, starling would be the one I would normally use, especially in the dry. It's a lighter fibre, it blends nice once you start to fish it into the hackle. On the wet, you could use mallard or some, or teal. You're talking the primary feathers from the wing. So anyway, there we are, folks. That's simple sort of basic flies for beginners, and for me, I love tying these flies. These still catch, but they'll start you off in your tying, and if you stick to the basic, you'll always have better flies. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and like always, thanks for watching. Until next time.